You ever have one of those days where you realize you just walked right into someone else's nightmare, but it takes you a minute to figure out who's really in charge of the dream? My first sound after moving into Harmony Estates wasn't the wind in the oaks or even the groan of my tired U-Haul ramp. It was a woman standing there in a pastel tracksuit, bright enough to scare the sun, yelling across the street that I was violating neighborhood integrity before my moving boxes even touched the driveway. Not even kidding, the movers froze like maybe she was going to start handing out citations. And I, standing there still holding a picture of my dad, thought, okay, maybe this is just the HOA's way of saying welcome. She stalks over, clipboard raised like a badge. Sir, those boxes can't stay on the driveway. You're already in violation. I said I've been here less than 10 minutes, but she was already snapping pictures, muttering about unsightly cardboard. Then, swear to God, she kicks one of my boxes, my dad's photo inside, and it shatters. I just looked at her and said, "You might want to smile for the camera." She jerked up, and right then my security system blinked red over the porch. That's when I knew this was not going to be the fresh start I'd hoped for. See, I'd bought this ranch house to get away from the city after my divorce. Every dime I saved was supposed to buy me a little peace and quiet, a place where mailboxes matched and the loudest thing was a dog barking 2 yards over. But nobody warned me about Karen. She was president of the HOA and apparently self-appointed dictator of the block. I saw her write what had to be a 5-page violation list just that first day, circling my U-Haul like a shark. Tried to make small talk with her. She looked at me like weather was something you needed to file a request about. Then she says, "Your boxes might contain unlicensed materials." I laughed, thinking it was a joke, until she poked a box with her pen and said she had the right to inspect them by HOA Constitution. I bit my tongue so hard I tasted blood. Inside, all I wanted was to unpack in peace, but out my window, Karen was a silhouette guarding her kingdom. Then my phone buzzed, unknown number. "This is Karen, HOA president. We need to discuss your truck's oil drip." It wasn't even dripping, but she sent a blurry photo as proof. She'd been right outside my window snapping it. Next morning, official-looking envelope taped to my door. Improper moving conduct, porch color violation. I hadn't even painted an aesthetically disruptive tree species. My oak tree apparently was an enemy of order. I started laughing until I heard another crash, Karen pushing a box off my moving truck, shattering more glass. "Ma'am, that's fragile," I said. "So are community values," she hissed. I pointed to my door camera. "Neighborhood loves footage," I whispered. Her eyes flashed, first confusion, then rage. After that, everything was a standoff. She circled my house at dusk, hovered by my mailbox with a flashlight. I'd wave. She scurried. That night, checking my camera, I saw her prying open my mailbox, federal seal and all. That's a felony, right? I saved the clip in 3 places. I wasn't aiming for revenge. This was about survival. Next morning, Karen showed up with her committee. 2 ladies in floral blouses presenting me a pamphlet. "Welcome to Harmony Estates, a guide to proper living. No citrus candles allowed. Karen's allergic. Only HOA-approved driveway texture." When I asked about outdoor scents, one lady said, "No citrus candles." I promised not to offend the air. Karen scowled and announced she was towing my truck for blocking visual harmony. As she called the sheriff, I turned on the camera. She didn't notice. 10 minutes later, a deputy showed up. "Ma'am, what's the issue?" Karen blurted. "He's breaking HOA law." Deputy just blinked. "That's not a thing, ma'am." He welcomed me to the neighborhood, smirked, and left. Karen's face was priceless. Neighbors who'd hid behind curtains now gave me subtle thumbs up. Guy mowing his lawn whispered, "You caught her quick." I realized Karen had been terrorizing folks for years. But I didn't want to be a legend, I wanted quiet. Still, I installed another camera just in case. It only took another sunrise for peace to shatter. Bright orange violation envelope on my door. More absurd charges, curtain color, suspicious sound emissions after 900 p.m. I'd fallen asleep watching a Western. Apparently, the gunshots offended harmony. Karen's signature heart-shaped dot and all. She doubled down. From down the street, she waved. Hope you're taking warning seriously. I said I'd add it to my collection. Her smile cracked. Afternoon, the neighborhood grapevine revved up. Old man walking his dog warned me. She keeps a list. Cross her, you get fined. Ticketed my granddaughter's lemonade stand. How unapproved sales. He shrugged. But you're her match. I started to realize I had witnesses, and witnesses meant leverage. That evening, I logged into the HOA forum. Karen dominated every thread, grading lawns, ranking mailboxes, eye-pleasing mulch, all that. Saw a new thread, new resident concerns. Karen accused me of non-compliance, verbal hostility. Most comments were finally someone standing up to her. A user named Maple Neighbor even called her out for harassment. We messaged, she invited me for coffee. Her name was Joyce. She'd been fined for shutters painted the illegal 13th beige. Karen had dirt on everyone. But she slipped up with you, Joyce said. The video's out. I hadn't posted it, but somebody had. The clip of her smashing my boxes was already viral on a community page. Commenters turned her into a meme, comparing her to a traffic cop on caffeine. Karen showed up red-faced. Did you post that video? You're defaming me. I just pointed at my camera. You trespassed, Karen. That's not privacy, that's evidence. She sputtered, threatened lawyers stormed off. That night, a knock. Not Karen, her vice president. Mandatory HOA meeting. Topic: resident conduct, leadership, accountability. The irony, right? Bring your evidence, he whispered. At the meeting, Karen opened with a PowerPoint about neighborhood values, screenshots of me dropping bubble wrap, trying to frame me as a litter bug. I waited, then stood up. Let's watch the real footage. I played the security clip, Karen smashing boxes, shouting unlicensed materials, gasps, whispers, then applause. Karen shrieked slander, but her authority unraveled on the spot. Afterward, neighbors thanked me. Joyce grinned. You just cracked the foundation. But I stayed wary. She'll try something bigger. Keep the cameras rolling, Joyce advised. Sure enough, that night, Karen snuck to the clubhouse dumpster, torching a box labeled HOA records. My infrared camera caught it all. She was burning evidence. The next day, a local Facebook group blew up with the video. Karen's golf cart screeched to my curb. You released those videos. You violated my rights. I just smiled. Careful, Karen. Burning records with gasoline. That's not how you dispose of outdated files. She paled, muttered threats, sped off. I waited. Let her dig her own grave. The next night I caught her with a flashlight photographing my backyard. Neighbor Bill yelled, "What are you doing in his yard?" Karen caught claimed official inspection. Nobody bought it. The vice president called an emergency vote. At the meeting, Karen ranted about conspiracies and emergency inspection rights. Someone shouted, "You wrote those yourself!" Laughter. The vote wasn't close, 20-1. Karen removed right then and there. She didn't fade quietly, though. That night she stood in the street with a megaphone. You're all traitors. You'll regret this. The deputy, same as before, offered to press charges. I shook my head. She's had enough attention. Porch lights flicked off. Quiet applause. I uploaded the video anyway, anonymous this time, because people needed to see what power looks like stripped of control. Next morning, viral again. Karen had become a meme. A few days later, odd car parked across my driveway, tinted windows. Found a note on my windshield. You've made a powerful enemy. I laughed. She was unraveling. Then came the slander flyers. Red ink wild accusations about me signed Karen. I collected them. Neighbors rolled their eyes. Joyce brought cookies. She's desperate. The retaliation got pettier, flooded my yard, smashed my mailbox, always caught on camera. Finally, I took everything to the sheriff. Ready to press charges, the deputy asked. Let's do it, I said. Karen's final meltdown was cinematic, arguing with deputies in her robe, clutching her chest, insisting she was the HOA president. The deputy just said, not anymore. Neighbors filmed as she tried to snatch their phones. Her world was shrinking. Within days, the board dissolved. The Freedom Committee was born. Laughter returned to the block fences, got painted in colors she'd have hated. But Karen didn't stop. Anonymous letters, more drama. Then one evening I caught her trying to pry my security camera off the wall. "Smile, Karen," I said. The deputy arrived, restraining order handcuffs, her pastel golf cart left behind like a broken throne. Even after she was gone, her shadow lingered. She tried countersuing, claimed I'd ruined her income running a volunteer HOA, mind you. Dismissed in court. A moving truck hauled her life away to a cabin outside town. The tension finally broke and Harmony Estates felt like its name again. Sometimes late at night I'd still check the cameras, half expecting that pastel cart. One morning a new family moved into her old house, laughing, waving, painting over the pastel wallpaper. The neighborhood healed, became a place of kids' cookouts, mismatched mailboxes, real freedom, finally. Months later, a letter arrived, Karen, from another state. She thanked me for reminding her control isn't the same as care. No apology, but maybe that was as close as she could get. I folded it with the rest of her history, a weird kind of closure. People ask me what I learned from all this. It's simple. Order without empathy. That's just tyranny with a coat of paint, and sometimes it takes a little chaos to remember what peace actually feels like. So let me ask you, what would you have done in my shoes? When does standing up for yourself become standing up for everyone? Drop a comment below. Tell me where you're watching from and share your own neighborhood war stories, because trust me, you never really know what's waiting behind that next white picket fence.